Hello, welcome to Looky Looky Loo Crafts. I scared myself. I'm Candace, and I'm here today. Just a little talky video. Because, let me get you something pretty to look at. I get my color book again. Oh, you got a reindeer this time. There you go. Something pretty to look at while I talk. So I just thought I'd maybe tell a little bit about my Christmas adventure with my son here. Which, not an adventure, but, it wasn't a non-eventful event of him getting home. So he was supposed to come home the Wednesday before Christmas, but he didn't make it until Christmas Day. So he went in and they gave him, he was in Michigan, I believe it was, and they sent him to Florida with a load. And then from Florida, they sent him, was going to send him home. Well, that took Wednesday and Thursday. And on his way home, he got in a traffic jam, and that held him up 4 hours. And they have, truck drivers have what they call downtime and drive time. So he can only drive like 10 hours a day. He can't drive more than that. So he didn't make it to his destination on Thursday because he had to stop driving. So the next day he finished his downtime, and so he could drive again, and so he came on home. But he had a flat. So he had to pull over, and that took another 3 hours to have them come out and fix the flat. Now, all this time, he's not in the truck he was assigned. He's in a loaner truck because his original truck had starter issues. So he didn't like his loaner truck at all. But he still got the loaner truck. So he gets all the way to North Carolina. He says he's just outside of Charlotte, which is about 40 minutes from where I live. And the place he was taking his load to wouldn't accept the load because their numbers didn't match or something. So then he was almost home, y'all, almost home, but he couldn't make it because they wouldn't take the load. It was like, early hours in the morning. So he had to call his home office, and so they told him he had to bring the load back in. So he took the load back to the home office so that they could straighten out the number issues and he could come on home. Well, when he got there, he was out of his drive time hours again. So but he can drive on his personal time, which he don't get very much personal time. But anyway, he had made arrangements for him to just drive his truck on home. He'd bobtail it on home. That's what they call it when they drive without a trailer. And so when he got there, they had another load for him to take out elsewhere. And it was already Christmas morning, y'all. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So he told him no. He was guaranteed Christmas at home, and he was going home. So he got in the truck and he drove a couple hours, but he had to pull over and go to sleep. So, and I don't blame him. That's exactly what he should do. So he spent the night in the truck stop or wherever it was he spent the night. And then he drove in on Christmas Day. So he got here, I don't know, 11 or 12 o'clock. And so that was his adventure to get home for Christmas. And I'm sitting here, waiting on him since Wednesday. Where are you? Are you in trouble? Do you need help? You got enough money? All this stuff mamas go through when their kids don't, show up on time. But anyway, he finally got here, and it was such a relief. But on the other hand, I got to sleep in on Christmas morning. And so by the time I got up and got around, it was in the afternoon. And he called me, told me he was coming in his bobtail. And I said, okay, and told me to move his car. So I went out and I moved his car. I was in my jammies, y'all. I didn't care. I got out there as fast as I could and backed the car out. And I was going to go around the block, but I don't really have it around the block. I have around 3 or 4 blocks. But I wasn't thinking about that. So by the time I went around the block and came back up, he was already backing it up into the driveway. And I thought, Lord, he's never going to get that big old truck in my driveway. I didn't think he was going to get it in there anyway. But there is a little part at the end of my street. I thought, well, for Christmas Day, he could park there. But no, he backed it right on up in the back of my driveway. But I got a holly tree right outside my bedroom window, and so the holly tree branches kind of reached out and grabbed the cab of his truck. So the holly tree got a little spanking on Christmas, but it's just fine. And I told him he could pull his truck up a little bit and reach out there and trim those branches back so that when he comes home with his truck, he don't scratch his truck or whip up on my holly tree. So he said he would do, but he ain't done that yet. But he's here, and I don't know how long he's going to be here. A couple more days. And so it's been fun having him here. A little bit of fun. So we had Christmas dinner on Christmas. You know, I showed my little dinner. I had ham and potatoes and some collard greens, you know, and the regular stuff. We haven't eaten the pie yet. He ain't asked for it. So I guess he's saving it. So, and tonight he had meatloaf and mashed potatoes and baked beans. So, yeah, he's enjoying having some home cooked meals and not being in the microwave meals or the fast food. He's put on about 20 pounds, y'all. He's putting it on. So I told him he's going to have to, you know, watch what he eats because all that fast food, you know, it'll make him a whale. But in his loaner truck, he don't have a refrigerator. So all his refrigerator goods are still in his originally assigned truck. And so it has a little freezer. So he says his meat is in the little freezer. Because I had bought him or got him a bunch of sandwich meat so that he could just pull over and make a sandwich if he needed to. And he has emergency food can supplies, you know, because you just never know when you're going to get in a spot where you can't get out and get something to eat. So I never did get him the hot plate. And so he was talking about a slow cooker. And I said, well, what he needed was an Instapot. So now I'm on the hunt for a little Instapot, not a giant one. You know, just something that he could use. Because I think that's like a pressure cooker. So it'll have a lockdown lid. So it can cook while he's driving. And he said that's what a lot of the men used was a slow cooker. And so, yeah. It was a little eventful. And he got to open a few little presents that I got him. And he liked everything. I had, before Christmas, bought a used printer from the thrift store. I got it for $18, y'all. It looked brand new. And it was all clean and everything. But, you know, I said, well, there's a chance it wouldn't work. But for $18, you know, I risked it. I risked it. And so I got that, and I couldn't bring it in. It's a big one. And so it stayed in the car until he got here, and then he brought it in. And so we've been piddling around with that thing, and that's been a lot of fun and a lot of aggravation because he don't listen to nothing I say, and he don't really know what he's doing. Well, I don't know what I'm doing either, but I got more experience than he does, but I can't remember. So it's been fun and it's been aggravating, but we've been working on it. And so it looks like a brand new machine on this side, a little dusty on the inside, but it won't print. So and the paper feed wouldn't feed, and well, we got the paper feed fixed, and we got new ink, and it still won't print. And so I think I need a new ink head, and I think if I get that, it'll work. And maybe I'll have myself a pretty good printer. So keep your fingers crossed for the printer. So yeah, I'd like to have a printer. I had one for years when I was working. You know, I always had an office set up. So I look forward to that. And so I think I'm going to have to order the print head online. That ain't too much, like $16 or something. So that ain't too bad. And I only pay $18 for the printer. So that's a pretty good price if it eventually ends up working. But anyway, we've had a good time together playing with it and trying to get it to work because it takes paper from 2 different places. And it also, we only want 1 copy, but it'll suck up 4 from 2 different places before it quits. So it's funny trying to get it to. Anyway, we've had a good time. My desk is still not put together, y'all, and so I don't even have my timer. I don't know how long I've been gabbing here, and I ain't got no crafty stuff to play with because everything's kind of in a box. I don't want to get it all out because I got to move my whole desk. And I'm hoping he'll move the stereo and uh, the 8-track. It's not an 8-track. It comes after the 8-track. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The movies with the tape movies, and the disc movies. That player. I'm gonna think of it when I don't need to say it. It's not an 8-track. Can't remember 10 minutes ago, but I can remember the 70s. Okay. So anyway. I'm hoping to move that, and that'll give me a little more crafty room to put my crafty stuff. But I gotta move the whole desk because it fits inside my shelf, which I really hate because it makes everything on the shelf hard to reach. But anyway, that's why I don't have any crafty goodies out and available to play with, and so I'm not making any crafty videos. So hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow, and I can get all my goodies back out and start playing with them again. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that because before I started my Christmas cards, I was working on a little tiny journal, and I was enjoying that. And so I think, once I get that little tiny journal finished, maybe I'll start on a normal size one. Well, I'm definitely going to start on a normal size one, a practice one, not my Christmas one that's going to put my cards in, but a practice one so that I kind of have some experience before I make my real Christmas one that I want to make for my Christmas cards. And stuff like that. So I've gabbed long time now, probably tired, and wondering what I'm yapping about. I don't even know myself. Oh, I'm sorry, you see my little boo-boo. I was playing with my dog Bear, and she snagged me a little with her claw. Which 10 years ago, it would have just been a red mark, but, when you get old, your skin gets thin. So, hey, I went from Christmas to crafting to dogs. Well, that's a lot in one little video. Well, I hope it makes sense. Because my son is at his friend's house, so I just had a little time to myself to make a video. And so I thought I'd make a talkie video. And here I am, still a talking. Okay, guys, that's about it. Do as the Lord will have you to do. And I will see you on my next video. Bye-bye now.